one is going to be on Tourmaline. And again, it is unfortunate that it is purely PvP here, just because the PvP matchup isn't really impacted too heavily by maps, just because of the warp-in mechanics. So despite the size of a map, like warp-ins do kind of nullify that. So you can still be like aggressive on larger maps or be in the face of your opponent. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our grand finals here, and spawning in the left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss representing Team Liquid, it is SKillous. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss himself representing Offside Esports, it is Krystianer. Here we go. As I mentioned, I've spoken about this before, but I do think the best way to be able to perceive changes and perceive maps is probably to host specific show matches. I think that's probably the best way of doing things, or hosting like a round robin like show match bracket as well, to be able to see more like ZVTs or ZVPs on certain maps, or PvT, less so PvTs, because we do see a lot of that as well, just to be able to showcase certain changes and see how things have adjusted, especially on these newer maps. Someone has to take the initiative though. True. I mean, we are coming up on the end of the year. We're coming up on the Duckling Showdown. We have to come up with a theme. I think last year we had some SC Evo show matches. We had some Tuna Cup related show matches. Well, we'll have to think about it. We'll think on it. For now, ooh, going for a Proxy Robo. Okay, Proxy Robo 1 base all in at a SKillous. He's going to commit. My apologies, did miss that. So he will commit across the map. Tourmaline does have a shorter rush distance by ground. It's very direct as well, as you can see here. There's like no high ground. There's no points of elevation. There's no tall grass or anything to slow down or to stop a push. It's very direct. Here comes SKillous. Now Krystianer, he reads this well. So Krystianer, he scattered. Yeah, he scattered the Robo. He knows what's going on. Defensive Robo out of Krystianer. Good reaction, good response. He will lose one pylon on the low ground, which is going to hurt him. Now SKillous, he finds the probe. Yeah, ensuring there's no backstab. No gateways across the map. And so far, Krystianer, he does have the tools to defend. As you mentioned, it would have been disastrous if Krystianer expanded first or even went for a Stargate instead. But building up on 3 gates, building up his Robo, he's going to have the equivalent production as his opponents, but he'll have the defender's advantage. The downside, of course, is the progress on the production. Oh, Krystianer, he finds a Stalker. Not bad. But SKillous, he's up 1 Immortal. Takes down the pylon. Now he cannot push up this ramp. Not yet. Not without the Warp Prism. Prism is on the way. Krystianer, he comes in from behind. He's going for the Robo. Does look to depower. Robo taking a little hits. At the same time, SKillous does have to move in. Nice save. Save with the Prism. Oh, looks like Krystianer, he fails to shut down the Robo. It stays powered. And SKillous, he wants those Stalkers. Oh. There's the recall. He does recall in time. Does pull out. Calm down. He was supply blow, yeah. So Krystianer, he killed the probe so he can make the immortal. For the greater good, Pappy. Oh no. Feels probe, man. Krystianer trying to engage. Once again, he just has to hold on to the high ground. Just has to defend the ramp. But again, SKillous is just building up his immortal counts, getting up to critical mass. 4th immortal's on the way. Getting up to 5. On SKillous, he cannot quite break in. He's trying though. Devastating Shade into the mineral line. They get a couple of pro kills, not bad. Yeah, SKillous splitting the attention of Krystianer. And SKillous, he should at least get the gateway. Krystianer being knocked down to 1 gate. He hasn't rebuilt. That's a bit of an oversight here from Krystianer. Like, again, these gateways will eventually go down. He should be rebuilding just to make sure he has warp-ins. Right now, more shield batteries. And once again, SKillous is having a really hard time pushing up the ramp. He gets the gateway. Krystianer down to 1 gate. Ooh, as one immortal goes out, miscontrol out of SKillous. Yeah, big miscontrol. Bleeds out an immortal. Krystianer, he's holding, he's shutting this down. And Krystianer, he defends. He does defend. SKillous, now he throws down a Stargate. This is a late reaction, late response. Bleeding out of the Stalker. Krystianer, he breaks out. And Krystianer can counterattack. Oh yeah, he catches the immortals one after the other. Nice juggling. Oh, let's be careful. And it does come into the fight. Catches the army. The immortals are so low for SKillous, and he will lose everything. GG gets called, and Krystianer ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG well played again. So crucial that Krystianer, he scouted the proxy early on. Remember, what did Krystianer do? He went for his own robo. He went for his own early robo production. He had the tools to defend. Everything was lined up. As we mentioned, it would have been disastrous if he had tried to expand, if he failed to scout, if he had gone for a Stargate instead. But Krystianer, he was able to scout, able to react, able to respond. GG. GG well played. With that, we're tied up 1-1. And now we're getting into our next game. Here we go. Loading into Talisman. We don't often see a lot of Talisman nowadays. It's going to be the first time we experience this map in a best of 7, of course. So now we're able to lock in, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I'm sure you've seen plenty of maps, plenty of games on Talisman. This was around in the previous TLMC as well. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Talisman, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player, we have the red Protoss for offside Esports. It is Krystianer. And a welcome one and all to Talisman. Again, Talisman was around in TLMC number 20 as well. So it's been around for another season, and we've already seen a lot of games on this map. This map does feature a high ground natural, so a defendable natural base, and also features the hybrid third base as well. There's a mineral ramp, so you can go down with your workers. You can take this expansion early on, and you can expand towards your opponent with another hybrid base. We often would see all-ins in other matchups with Terran players and Protoss players expanding towards your opponent, taking this base as the natural, and then this base is the third, and then all-inning from this ramp, just all-inning across the map. Very, very short rush distance. So we saw a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins on a Talisman, and now it's back. Now it's back for another season. has returned for another season. Cybercore at SKillous. Krystianer doing everything he can here to block. Remember, SKillous did go for the high ground, also go for the natural expansion here, so did go for a greedier build. And Krystianer likewise doing the same, actually. So Krystianer, he will disrupt. He could try to throw down some shield batteries here. We'll see if he goes for it. Yeah, you can see the probe is in position to block. Doesn't commit. And we have, oh, there we go. Okay, shield battery is indeed on the way. So 2 shield batteries for Krystianer. Zeld has arrived, and from here we're rallying across the map, rallying the Adept, rallying the Oracle as well. But this does feel very delayed for Krystianer, I will say. Does feel delayed. SKillous, the good reaction here, or the reaction to go for is to go for your own defensive shield batteries. Stalker's out, the first shield battery is going to be denied. Nice one. SKillous, he fully walls off. Very nice. Yeah, he walls off the natural. With that, he can buy time. Shield batteries aren't finishing. And again, this is a big investment, but I don't really feel like we're getting too much done with this yet. Yeah, Krystianer down to 2 shield batteries. Down to 2. And SKillous holds. As SKillous holds, SKillous defends. He's up to 3 Stalkers. He's perfectly fine here. And this was just such a big commitment here for Krystianer. What was it, like 4 shield batteries? And once again, SKillous, he fully walls off. Just a really calm reaction out of SKillous. It walls off, he walls off. Krystianer is going for his own natural. He will avoid the standard natural location. Going for the hybrid base instead. Bold move. Once again, SKillous, he shuts us down. And this is a raw position for Krystianer. No, he doesn't scout. Oh, Krystianer, he doesn't see. There's a proxy inside the base. Inside the natural. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, we do have 2 Oracles. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot probes. There's a lot of pressure on Krystianer. He goes in. Gets 1, 2, 3, 4 probe kills. Not bad. Oh. Does pull away. But he doesn't know, Pat. He doesn't know. The call is coming from inside the house. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, warping in more Stalkers. He's building up. And Krystianer doesn't really have an army is the problem as well. He's got 2 Adepts, he's got 2 Oracles, he has no standing army. So a recall won't save him. A Warband won't save him. As he's so tech heavy here, just now getting gateways, Twilight Council, Blink. Yeah, GG gets called, the army is revealed, and SKillous takes a 2-1 lead. Whew, GG. GG well played. Cheeky moves there out of SKillous, but it wasn't just that, of course. Krystianer was behind because of the commitment into the shield batteries, right? The commitment into the shield battery rush, it just was not worth it. Really cool reaction out of SKillous to be able to wall off. He just fully walled off the ramp, so we saw that Krystianer, he never got into the mineral line, he never pushed up into the natural either. He was stuck at the ramp and never really got to take advantage of all those shield batteries. It also hit a little bit late. It was delayed because of SKillous' movements. GG. GG, and with that, we're now getting into our next game. We're loading into Taito Citadel. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss representing outside Esports. It is Krystianer. Here we go. As we're selling in, two gate openers all around. SKillous, we're going for another proxy, setting up for another, what looks to be one base all in. This looks like a prime location for a proxy robo. Technically, this could be a Stargate, but a Stargate would be closer to the edge of the map, typically, so we're leaning towards a robo, leaning towards a one base all in. Now, to be fair, the last time we saw this at a SKillous, it didn't work. It did not work, it did not succeed. We saw that Krystianer was able to shut it down, and Krystianer was able to get his own defensive robo up and running. We'll see if that's the case this time. We'll see if Krystianer can scout and confirm. As he sees, Pylon is missing. So Krystianer, he knows that there's a proxy, he knows that something is wrong, and blindly, yep, he goes for a defensive robo. So once again, a solid reaction out of Krystianer. It is a risk. For example, if SKillous is going for a fake pylon, a fake proxy, or a Stargate, I would favor SKillous' position instead, but because he's committing into a proxy robo, I do favor Krystianer with his own defensive robo. Even though Krystianer didn't scout, even though he doesn't... God damn it, Krystianer. But even though Krystianer didn't scout, even though he doesn't see what's going on, he doesn't know exactly what the proxy is, he's reacting and respecting it quite a bit. He gambas, baby. He gambas, and he gambles well. Now, I'm not saying that this is like a confirmed win for Krystianer, but once again, things are leaning in his favor. As he does have the tools to defend. Meanwhile, I believe SKillous, he scouted, he's aware, he's going for the War Prison first, as he's aware of the robo. Prism is out, dropping into the main. Immortal production has begun. Now SKillous, he does try to poke in, but the Immortal has arrived, defensive shield battery, and SKillous warp-in is denied. So again, a really strong start for Krystianer because of his reaction, because of his defensive robo. So far so good. Like so far the build is working in favor of Krystianer. Prism across the map with two adepts, they can one-shot probe, shield battery does not matter. Oh, does misalign his shots. Army's moving in. We'll take down the gateway. Adepts almost get surrounded. We get another warping of Adepts, and SKillous is being shut down. Yeah, no economy. Now, the scary thing, of course, is that Krystianer, he has less warpings back at home, but he does force field. He has to hold on to that ramp. He needs on the force field. Now to two Immortals. Okay. He'll lose both gateways. He does not have a backup gateway. Uh-oh. Yeah, no more warpings for Krystianer. Krystianer, he's in danger. He may have to recall. Nah, GG. GG gets called. He defends well enough. He cripbles the economy. And Krystianer, he ties things up 2-2. GG. Whew. GG, well played. I was a little bit concerned that Krystianer, without warpins, he wouldn't be able to hold onto the ramp. But no, he was able to hold well enough. He had two Immortals on the high ground as well. GG. GG, well played. Both times that SKillous has gone for a one-base proxy all-in, both times Krystianer shut it down because he was able to respond with his own defensive robo, even without scouting. He had no confirmation, he just gambled, he rolled the dice, he rolled well. GG. GG. With that, we're now getting into our next game. Now, this is where, maybe not this game, but I wouldn't be opposed to later on in the series, SKillous going for a proxy pylon and not going for a robo. to go for a fake out instead and to force a reaction out of Krystianer. Like, that's what I would want to see here, based on how Krystianer is reacting, based on how he's responding. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 5, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. Being forced into a tied series, and spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. We go. Krystianer. As again, the proxy robos and the one-base all-ins have not been working out for SKillous. So we gotta calm down. See, this is where SKillous is like, well, he wouldn't expect me to proxy robo again, right? And he just like, just keeps going. I mean, true, at this point, this is when mind games come into play. Like, I would say that it would be really good for SKillous to mix in a fake proxy pylon. But at the same time, if he goes for a real one, maybe Krystianer, if he scouts, if he sees a pylon missing, he'll be like, oh, at this point, there's no way you proxy robo me like 3 games in the series, right? Like, at this point, this has to be a fake out. Then he expands instead, or then he goes for a Stargate. And then SKillous has a better opportunity, has a better position. It's possible. The mind games. For now, we're chilling back at home. No proxy to speak of, so 2-gate opener. SKillous does hide his pylon further back in the main. Okay, a little bit cheeky. You can see that Krystianer is looking for it. He's looking for the pylon. And we'll see if he scouts further into the main base. So far, he does not. Back at home, does he throw down a robo? Does he take the bait? Oh, he doesn't. Okay. Throws down the pylon on the low ground. Pylon is thrown down. Yeah, Krystianer, he's like, you don't have the balls to proxy me 3 games in a series. No shot. He's expanding. Again, so Krystianer, he fails to scout the pylon. He doesn't know what's going on. He's looking, though, with the hallucination. True, he's looking for the proxy. But he will expand. And the hallucination confirms that SKillous is also expanding. So he knows that, okay, it was a fake out. There's no real proxy. The mind game's not working out in favor of SKillous. Not this time. Oh, but SKillous does go for a robo opener. Okay. Now, with a robo opener, this does mean that SKillous has access to early immortal production. He goes to the Forge follow-up as well. This is very tech-heavy, very greedy in a sense. Not greedy economically, but greedy in the sense that he's taking up quite heavily, investing so much into upgrades, into tech, less so into his gateway army. So greedy moves here by SKillous. He is going to be vulnerable early on as a result, and Krystianer is going into Blink. Likewise, he has a spotter pylon, which he can use to reinforce. There we go, warping in 2 stalks at a time. He is pushing. And we'll see if he can break the natural. Or at least catch the sentries. Krystianer moving in, nice forces out of SKillous. Zones away the army, buying time. Does buy some time here. The Nexus takes a couple of hits, but he's just tanking shots. Get very careful micro here out of SKillous. He kites back. Boys are being pulled. And with the Immortal arriving, SKillous holds. As SKillous, he does hold, he defends. He bleeds out 3 workers, so it does even up the worker count. If don't give Krystianer a slight edge. Krystianer, he backs up, keeps warping in, Blink is on the way, and you can see that Krystianer is trying to keep up that momentum. Where he trades, gets a couple of probes, picks up some sentries. The aggression continues. And SKillous, he should be the defender for the near future. Remember, he got the faster tech, the faster robo, the forge, the +1. He should be just building up back at home. And then he can break out with +1. So here comes the gateway explosion. SKillous, he finds the first pylon. Oh, Krystianer supply blocked. Uh-oh. That is brutal. Yeah, brutal supply block for Krystianer. Back at home, he's throwing down a wall of shield batteries. Here comes SKillous, he's pushing. A good read out of Krystianer, but just because he knows what's coming his way doesn't mean he can stop it. SKillous is trying to commit. Nice force fields. SKillous being slowed down. Nice forcing his way in. Yeah, SKillous is pushing forward. The boys are being pulled. +1 is now done. Oh, does dive with the Prism. Not bad. Prism goes down, denies the warp in. And Krystianer shuts down the Immortal as well. Yeah, Krystianer, he will hold. Whew. Yeah, it does hold, does defend. Cleans up the Stalkers. And now it's time to counterattack. And SKillous, he bled out so much here. The Immortal, the Warp Prism, he's down to only Adepts. He cannot fight head on. And Krystianer, he can just walk in. He can just walk in. There's going to be one Immortal to defend. Maybe a Warp in. Krystianer, now is his time. Adepts, they don't find a way in. Yeah, the mineral wall is closed. Boys are being pulled. Krystianer, he does depower everything. Depowers the production, but the Immortal does arrive in time. And Krystianer, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep pushing. Don't stop. Adepts take it in. Uh-oh. Adepts take it into the natural. Shading into the main. There's the recall back home. Ooh, does decide to recall. Adepts they get 9 probe kills across the map. And economically, Krystianer is falling behind. And cancels the shade, kills even more probes. 11 probes going down. Gets 11 workers. SKillous, he's recovering. Initially, Krystianer, he had to lead after the defense, but now SKillous, he's up in workers. He's building up his army. He's rebuilt the Immortal, rebuilt the War Prism. Krystianer does at least have a third. True. Does have a third base. But the pressure's still on. Say thread in the shade. Thread in the shade. Getting up to 4 more probe kills. More Adepts, they hit the third. This time Krystianer's ready. Yeah, bit of miscontrol. Focus on the workers. But SKillous, he breaks out. He breaks out. He still has the upgraded advantage as well. Krystianer, he never got +1. SKillous, he brings everything together. Remember, SKillous, he chose not to expand. It's still 2 base all in. Still just a big 2 base all in here from SKillous. Always has been. It continues. Map did open up. Headed towards the linear third. Headed towards the third expansion. Zealots do a great job tanking, but we're running out of Zealots, and the Immortals are moving in. And they're getting us all the Stalkers. Immortals, they go ham. And SKillous, he has enough. Yeah, he has enough. He's breaking through. The Immortals just do so much of the backline. The boys are being pulled. Krystianer getting desperate. And then Krystianer, he had an impressive defense initially. Blinks in, takes down the Prism. Gets one of the Immortals. Oof. But only one. And nice target firing out of SKillous. Takes down the mineral line. Cleans up all the Zealots. The Immortal gets away. Making use of the tall grass. Ooh, does go for the recall actually. Okay. Does recall back home. But SKillous, he keeps the Immortal alive. Okay, time for wave 3. time for round 3, papi. The 2-way soul in continues. It doesn't stop. He just keeps going. Do you have a decent shield battery count at both bases? There's 3 shield batteries at the natural, 3 shield batteries at the third. Krystianer, though, he's out of position. He's at the third base. And SKillous is moving in. He's moving in, he takes out the pylon. Depowers all the shield batteries. Uh-oh. SimCity working against the Zealots. Going for the warp in the mineral line as well. Krystianer goes to the dive, and he does not deny the warp in. Adepts, they do complete. Boys are being pulled into Adepts. Oh my god. The Immortal barely goes down. Nice snipe with the War Prism. But Krystianer just doesn't have enough. Yeah, he does not have enough here. The Gateway Army does overwhelm. Krystianer, he held for so long. But in the end, it was just too much. Too much. SKillous shading into the natural. Shading into the third. He's already crippled the economy, even doing more damage. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Krystianer, he has nothing left, and SKillous takes a 3-2 lead. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. Again, Krystianer, he had a really impressive initial defense at the natural. Very impressive. I'm referring to the moment where he killed the War Prism, where he killed the Immortal as well when he counterattacked. But if you remember, in that counterattack, he missed the army. We saw that SKillous, he actually warped in, what was it, like 6 to 8 Adepts. They were getting across the map. The armies, they missed each other. Krystianer, he failed to push into the natural as there was a defensive Immortal. And the Adepts, they got across the map. They got across the map, they crippled the economy, and SKillous, he clawed his way back into that game. GG. GG, well played. And now we're getting into our next game here. Going to be loading into Mothership. Let's go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Mothership, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 3-2. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, bottom side of Mothership, we have the red Protoss, the Polish Protoss, representing offside Esports. It is a Krystianer. Here we go. And welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map, much larger compared to Last Fantasy, so a larger map here, a little bit more open. The bases are a little bit more exposed as well. As you can see, there are greater arcs, greater angles of attack at the fringe expansions. But once again, I don't know if that applies to, if that's too applicable to PvP, to mirror matchups. As first things first, we're looking for each other. Probes are sent out, they do find each other, and now they know. SKillous and Krystianer, they're fully aware. Both players going for 2 gate openers. And there's no probe on the map, there's no setup for a proxy. There is no setup. So from here, we're building up. Again, we have our 2 gate openers all around. It is going to be a Stargate initially here for Krystianer, opening up with a Stargate, and SKillous across the map is going for his own expand. So we have a more economic opener out of SKillous. We have something more aggressive out of Krystianer. Bearing in mind that Krystianer, he will delay his own natural in favor of the Stargate. So Stargate's on the way. Hallucination Scout from Krystianer will confirm. He scouts the lack of base and he scouts the tech. So SKillous, he knows. He's aware of what's going on. And SKillous, as a result, he should be setting up shield batteries. We have a shield battery at the natural, and we should be soon seeing one in the main base as well. Should be. As more adepts are moving in. As Krystianer moves out with the first Oracle, we're opting to skip the shield battery in the main base, but we do have 2 swords in position. Meanwhile, Krystianer commits into a second Oracle. First one moves in. SKillous is keeping up. So far, so good. Yeah, SKillous, he defends. And he's setting up a proxy across the map. So there's still a lot of pressure on Krystianer. Remember, winding it back, Krystianer, he is behind economically. He has been just because of the later expansion. So there's a lot of pressure on Krystianer. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot probes. Adepts are getting caught out. Ooh, losing 1. 1 Adept goes down. Oracles, they get 1 probe kill. They get 2. 2 probes do fall, but alas, that's going to cost Krystianer another Adept. Commits to the Shade. And he has to get the hell out of here. Oracles, they go back in. They head towards the main. SKillous is ready, somewhat. Despite that, very nice flyby. 5 probes go down. Nice damage, and Krystianer, he takes a lead. Krystianer from here, he does take a lead. As SKillous, meanwhile, is going for his own proxy. Remember, he's committing across the map. No tech, no Robo, no Twilight Council, no Stargate, no nothing. It's an all-in. So straight up 2 base all-in out of SKillous with vanilla Stalkers. And he has a massive army. He has a massive army. Unfortunately, Krystianer was investing into Oracles, into Adepts, into harassing units. Does have a shield battery. Voids are being pulled. Very nice force field. Looks away the Voids. Yeah, the probes, they cannot engage. Nice force fields. It looks down the Stalkers. Gets 1, 2, gets all 3. And there's nothing left. There's just nothing here. The Oracles, they're harassing across the map. That's nice and all, but it does not matter. Because the main army here is terrifying for SKillous. As he breaks in, GG gets called, and SKillous, he overwhelms the army. He will take the series 4-2, becoming the Patches TLMC21 Bash #2 champion. GG. GG, well played. Again, Krystianer, he was pressured to do economic damage. Unfortunately, he didn't really piece together what he was seeing. What I mean by that, Krystianer, he got into the main base multiple times. He should have taken note of the fact that there was no Robo, no Twilight Council, no Stargate, no extra gateways, no third. Something was wrong. Something was missing from the bases. We knew that it was a proxy gateway across the map, but Krystianer wasn't fully aware. So he was still committing into warping in more Adepts, into committing into harassment. He was not ready back at home. GG. GG, well played. SKillous, he pulled off the all-in, he got across the map, pulled off the proxy, and congratulations here to SKillous as he does claim the series. Again, my condolences to Krystianer, but he did well making it this far, making it all the way to the finals. To do so, he was able to bring down Special. He was, no, sorry, I think he skipped him. Yeah, he didn't face Special. He was able to bring down Geralt multiple times, took down Art as well. Krystianer, he was able to rely on his PvP. SKillous, he had a more diverse way into the finals. He took down Mixu, took down Special before making it to the upper bracket finals and grand finals thereafter. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to SKillous for claiming the tournament. I do apologize. Oh, sorry, I say apologize. I will say the one downside here is that because of so many mirror matchups, the maps themselves, I don't really feel like we really showcased too much. We did see quite a bit of 10,000 feet, and we got to see how aggressive you can be on that map. True. We were able to showcase that even in a mirror matchup. But as you mentioned before, like PvP doesn't really take into consideration too much of maps just because of the warping mechanic, just because of how aggressive you can be despite the size. But GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations to SKillous. Really great to see him being active again. Again, as we mentioned at the start of the broadcast, SKillous has been less active over time, specifically post EWC. He's been playing in less tournaments. He took a break, but recently he came back. Recently he did come back, and he has been focusing and fixating on improving and playing again. I think he brought Clem to the A Smash not too long ago either, so he's been looking very strong and very powerful in PvT. I will say that SKillous' weakest matchup, as always, has been PvZ. Like, PvZ has been his weakest matchup, has been the matchup he has to work on the most. But here, I mean, he did drop a map to Mixu. True. That also kind of, like, emphasizes that point. But he was able to kind of rely on his other matchups here to make it through, to become a champion. Congratulations. And again, of course, he is working on his PvZ as well. I know that Clem was actually helping him with PvZ. I remember Clem, because Clem was laddering as Protoss, he himself was actually working on some builds, and he actually gave some builds to SKillous, which did actually help out against Solar, at the start of the year. So it was really cool to see SKillous like kind of learning from that, taking from that. But with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. With that, that's going to be us wrapping up our broadcast for the morning. A bit of a shorter broadcast. Once again, I do apologize for going late, for going live a little bit late. Unfortunately, I did not get a lot of sleep in the morning, so just because What TV Monday ended so late. But with that, that does wrap up our daily cast here for Tuesday. Tomorrow we're going to be live in less than 24 hours with the Pigastar Cup. So Pigastar Cup is going to be tomorrow. We have the Pong cast on Thursday. We have What TV Monday on Friday, MSO STC, and we have the SE2 Safe House. SE2 Safe House is going to be over the weekend. That is going to be, of course, the big event happening in the Americas. Everyone's going to be, I say everyone, all the NA casters are flying over to Vegas. I think Roddy's going to Vegas as well to host and to bring together the event. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very intense. A lot of NA StarCraft over the weekend and over the course of the next couple of months with SE for All and with the Stellar Fest tournament as well. The event happening in Canada. So again, there's going to be a tournament in Canada. There's going to be a tournament in Philadelphia. We have 2 events back to back in the Americas, and we have the SU Safe House as well. Like October, November is NA StarCraft. It's all about that NA StarCraft. So if you happen to be local, if you happen to be in the area, do consider going to one of the events, whether it's in Canada, whether it's in the Americas. Otherwise, GG, well played. Feels like a lot of Taito to 10,000 feet and Tourmaline. Yeah, that's what we got a lot of. That's what we got a lot of here. But shout out to Patches for hosting the event. Thank you so much. I mentioned it before, but I'm very disappointed that the other online tournaments didn't showcase the TLMC21 maps where I feel like they should have. They're only doing so this week, but it's so late. It's so late. So yeah, I'm disappointed when it comes to Pigastar Cup, KSL, Monday Night Weeklies. They got there eventually, but they got there very late in regards to showcasing the maps, as voting ends this weekend. Or I should also emphasize that if you saw some maps you enjoyed, make sure to vote. Make sure to get your votes in. Voting is open and voting ends on the 19th of October, so end of the week. You have very little time to vote. Here you go. Would a couple of Void Rays have saved in there? That would have helped. I don't know if it would have been enough, but it definitely would have helped there. Unfortunately, as we mentioned, like, it's one of those things where Krystianer just didn't know what was coming. He didn't realize how much danger he was in until it was too late. He didn't kind of piece together like the all-in that was coming his way. Top 2 maps, true. Top 2 maps are going to be guaranteed. And get your votes in. I won't tell you what to vote for, but what I will say is that I do think that it is important to have a nice balance of maps as well. What I mean by that is something that I did notice is the submissions for rush maps and for more aggressive maps were very low. I don't know if that's normal, but we had a really low amount of submissions for that, and only, I want to say, like 2 or 3 rush maps made it into the top 16. So I do think it's important to balance things out, because honestly there are a lot of large maps. There are lots of really large maps in the TLMC, like top 16 for 21. A lot of large maps. Like, I'm looking at the map pool here, I'm looking at Satellite Years, I'm looking at White Rabbit, Old Republic, Missing You Today, looking at Celestial Enclave, Winter's Madness, looking at Magnetic North, and Magnetic North is more in the middle of the road, I should say. Mothership, true, Mothership's a 3+1 map, but also very large as well. Mothership is large. Taito, Throne of Dunes. So there was a lot of like large maps, which I don't know if it's, I don't know if I would say it's a bad thing, but I do think it's important that when you do vote, that you do have a nice spread of like what your favorite like standard or macro maps, and also your favorite like rush maps as well. I would emphasize that just to make sure that you're, when you do decide to vote, that you have like a nice balance of things, so it isn't like too top heavy, or it isn't too like large heavy when it comes to like the size of the maps and what makes it through like TLMC. I think they should look beyond top 16 a little. Yeah, I mean the scores are really close. I don't know if it's fair for the map pool to look beyond the top 16. You could argue that maybe voting should be like top 20, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I feel like there aren't a lot of really weird maps in top 16. I agree. I do think there were other like weirder maps that maybe should have made it through. Like God, what am I thinking of? Think of like Dream and Scars, or like the map which is like quote unquote 4-player spawn, but like has 2 different like it's only ever like diagonal spawn, and it has like different like a different like kind of layout depending on how you spawn as well. Like maps like that like were really cool. Unfortunate that they didn't make it through. Yeah, Dream and Scars. Yeah. Dream and Scars, or the other 4-player spawn map which had the monorail system. Like, that was okay. Yeah, that was really cool to see. What happened? Cool. I think my personal favorites, I haven't looked too much into it. Like, what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of like Magnetic North. I really like Mothership, of course. I feel like Mothership's a sure thing. Like, Mothership's gonna make it through 100%. I'm thinking of like Magnetic North. I'm thinking of I would say Risen Memory is crazy. I still feel like Risen Memory is a crazy map that could make it through. I still have not really casted many games at all in Celestial Enclave, unfortunately. 10,000 feet. I really want 10,000 feet to make it through as well. What else? Satellite Years, I wouldn't be opposed to. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. There's definitely some maps here that I hope don't. I mean, I think I mentioned this before. I do feel like White Rabbit's gonna get a lot of votes just because of its aesthetic. Like, I feel like the Matrix aesthetic and the name of the map as well, I feel like is gonna go a long way. I can definitely see a lot of people looking at it and going for it based off of aesthetics for sure. Even though I don't think it's a good map. But we'll see. We shall see. Not a fan of White Rabbit. I mean, I think did I give it a 1? I think I might have given White Rabbit a 2, but like, it's not. I said this before. I still can't believe White Rabbit made it through into the top 16. Like, I can't believe it. It's actually crazy. Like, I should have been harsher on it, Pappy. I should have given it a 0.5. I should have. No. But yeah. TLMC. I'm curious, hold on. Yeah, I gave it a 2. I gave it a 2 just to be nice, I remember. God. Can't believe it. But yeah, regardless, with that, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Again, don't forget to vote. I did just post the voting link in the chat. I'll do it again. Here. Both in YouTube and in Twitch chat. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And again, voting ends at the end of the week, so make sure you get your votes in while you can. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Pickassar Cup. See you next time. Until then, thanks for watching, thanks for support, and we'll see you guys next time. Ciao, baby, ciao. See you next time.